Hey, it's Angie. We're going to do a reading today here on New Path Tarot that is going to be for a timing question. So it depends on when you watch this as to how far away the month will be that I give you here. For example, if you're watching it right now, it's September. So if I were to say October, then it would be next month. But if you watch it in November, it's going to be almost a year from now. So this is a timeless reading. You may find it later, but the time frame that I'm giving you is for the future, not the past. So let's see, how do I want to do this? Okay, I'm going to give you 3 different numbers to choose from. You go ahead and pick the pile that the number feels the strongest for you energetically. All right, so close your eyes, take a deep breath. First number is 35. Second pile, 36. Pile 3, 40. 35, 36, 40. Okay, so for these readings today, we're using Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. And if you'd like to skip to pile 2 or 3, the timestamps are in the description and the comment box. Otherwise, we'll start with pile 1. All right, so you're going to have a message along with your card. It's not just going to be timing only. Pile 1, your card being Change, Thunder Moon, card number 35. The month for the Thunder Moon is July, right? Hold on, let me make sure. When is the Thunder Moon? Yeah, July. Just want to make sure I was saying that right. Okay, so the crystal for the Thunder Moon is serpentine, if you're a crystal person. But the card being Change would imply to me that something drastic changed for you this past July. It could be many things. Your life might have been in change in general. This card reminds me of the Tower card because you got the lightning in it, and the theme for the Tower card in general is change. So you might have had a Tower moment in July. But time frame simply is next July. Whatever it is that affected you in July might be what it is that you're talking about here. That might be when it reaches resolution or something else significant happening with it the following July. It could be a positive thing too. Tower moments don't necessarily mean negative. They just mean a big sudden upheaval and change in your life. That could be a positive thing. It doesn't have to always be something that is destroying you. The thing that is important about the Tower card is how strong is your foundation? Because it could be something that you grow stronger from. It could be something that brings you down. So you have to have your inner reserves tapped into spirit in order to withstand change. And this could also be something that happens in July. Like this might, if you don't have something drastic that happened last July, it can be talking about something that will happen. So, and it could just be simply a change. Like if you have a lease that's up in July, or you're expecting or anticipating something to happen in July, then you already know what it is. This is just confirming that it will happen. So notice how there's all these different things depending on your circumstance. But if you want details about your own personal situation, then that's when you would want to do a personal reading, because this is just timing and some examples of how that might affect you. But everybody's going to have a different set of circumstances that attribute to the change and play into what all it entails and how deeply it affects you and in what way. Can you weather the storm? Each person can be faced with the same exact thing, but you might have different ways of dealing with it. Okay. All right, so quick and to the point for you guys, pile 1. If you have another thing that you want to check on, you can always have more than one pile. So I'm going to move on to pile 2 if you're interested in that. Otherwise, pile 3 has the timestamps below. Have a great day. See you guys later. Okay, pile 2, card number 36, Patience, Green Corn Moon. And as much as I already knew the answer to this, I can't remember. When is the green corn moon? It's August. Wasn't that a song in Pocahontas when she's like under the green corn moon, I think? Okay, I watched that movie like so many times when I was a kid, and my foster sister and I used to play, like act it out on our, okay, so I had this recording stereo that we would take tapes and tape over the little thing, and then you could record over it. So I recorded over my Mariah Carey tape and my Whitney Houston tape, yes, cassettes. And I played John Smith and she played Pocahontas, and we would get in arguments and we would fight. I'm like, I'm wrong, I'm right, and you're wrong. And she's like, no. And we totally were pretending. You're like, you are nuts. And I'm like, I know. Okay. Now your card is Patience and your stone is Jade. So, if that's something that interests you. But the timing is August, meaning next August. However, something significant might have happened to you in this past August regarding something that you need to be patient for, because a year from now, pretty much, if you're watching this in September, or any time in the next following months, that's kind of far away to have wait for August. So the patience part of it is laying the groundwork so that come next August you can reap the harvest. You got to be patient about something in your life because it's not going to happen just yet. So I know that might be frustrating to hear, but then again, you might already know. You're like, yeah, I already figured that, but I was just hoping it would be sooner. But this feels to me like things will pan out for you. It's just going to take longer than you wanted it to. This could be an element of divine timing to it. Like the reason why it's not panning out is because it's going to work out in a better way. And it could also because if it has to do with another person, it's like maybe you're ready, but the other person isn't ready. If it has to do with a job, same thing. It's like you need a job, but that job isn't necessarily available. So you might need to settle on a different job in the short term. And this is such a huge theme. Like a lot of people are really having a hard time finding a job right now. The job that they're qualified for. And I'm like, if you need a job, you're going to probably have to find something else in the meantime. And once you get that call, then switch, quit the job you're at now. But people are afraid to take something that is less than ideal, even though it's going to be a temporary thing. So because your situation requires patience, it's not saying it's not going to happen, which is comforting in and of itself, so that you don't have to sit here and go, oh my God, it's never going to happen. No, it's going to happen. It's just going to take a while. But you're setting up whatever needs to be done, because this is going to be a longer thing. I think it's going to be in stages too. It's not going to be all at once. Like you might get some kind of parts of it leading up to August, but it's not going to come to full fruition until August. And even then, there's still going to be more to go. This feels like it's the beginning stages of something. This woman's like on a journey. She's been on it for a long time, and she can see the finish line, but it seems like she's not really looking forward to whatever the heck that obstacle up ahead is, but it has to be done to get through it. So use this time as preparation mentally and be ready for when this does come to fruition. So that this feels to me like, say you have an important date coming up, making sure that you're doing the preparation for it and not, this isn't something you want to procrastinate on. This is something that you want to get out ahead of and make sure you're fully prepared, have all your ducks in a row, so that when it comes time, you're ready to take that leap into the unknown. Because you don't know how it's going to turn out. This card isn't telling me how it's going to turn out. This card is just telling me that something is going to happen in August. If you want to know how it's going to turn out, then we got to pull tarot. And it's just that, like, sure, you're going to have an answer in August, but we don't know what that answer is going to be. And this one feels like it has a lot to do with you making sure it's going to go your way to the degree of which you can control. But the ultimate outcome is out of your hands. So you can do your best, and then you put it out there for the universe and say, I did what I can do. Whatever will be, will be. And just kind of waiting for it to pan out. All right? So I'm going to leave you guys with that. Did I tell you what your stone was? I don't think I did. Did I? Jade is your stone, which is one of my favorite stones. There's one more thing I'm getting, because I said about, you making sure you plant the seeds so that you can get the harvest. Yet this looks like it's like overdue to be harvested. Remember what I said about not procrastinating? I think there's some things that you need to do right now, and that's why you're given the time. Why this is going to take so long is because if this were to happen now, you'd be overwhelmed, and you need to get caught up on the past stuff first. So from last August, if there's things that happened that you have not yet done, like let's say you moved in August and you still have your boxes unpacked, this is the time to go through your boxes, get rid of stuff, donate, sell, whatever, and make sure that you're ready for this time next year to happen. Because you're at a point right now where, because you have time, use it wisely and don't just wait. Be productive. Distract yourself so that you're not in a waiting energy. So that when that time comes, you're like, wow, I got a lot done. All right? All right, that's it for you guys. Number 36. I'm going to move on to the next pile. All right, pile 3. Your card is number 40, Darkness. Hello, Darkness, my old friend. Okay. Your crystal is onyx. Your time frame is December. I was like, wait, when is it? Yeah, December, which is the reason for Christmas lights is it's the darkest time of the year. So yours, if you're watching this prior to December, is coming up pretty soon, actually. You might be in the dark until it happens. Like, it's going to be almost shocking to you when it does. You might not even believe that it's actually going to happen at this point. You're like, yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. But something significant is going to happen this coming December for you. And it's highly likely in regards to what you had in your mind when you clicked on this reading, but it could be other things too, when I said something significant. I think that is going to be maybe even external to what you had in mind. This card sometimes can talk about depression, or like this feeling of like something's missing. So if that is a factor for you, you're going to want to address that. Like, let's say you're single and you're wanting a relationship. Make sure that you're dealing with any issues of codependency before you meet somebody, so that you're not bringing that into the relationship. Make sure you deal with any issues of insecurity, because when you meet a new person, they're a new person, and you're going to have to get to know them, and they're going to reveal to you who they are. But don't bring past relationships into it and bias of, well, they were like that, so they're going to be like that too. Everybody's different. So also, maybe something significant happened last December that's going to play into this upcoming one. If you're watching this in December, this is going to happen very quickly. Or it could be in the midst of happening. Some people are better at night. Like, they're more functional between the hours of like 10 p.m. and 2 a.m., which means if you're able to control your schedule and not wake up early but actually be able to sleep in, that might be your peak hours of getting things done, is 10 to 2. What else? I keep being drawn to the galaxy here. Being out in night, getting fresh air, because December, it's usually cold out, especially if you live up north. Get crisp, cool air, and breathing in that crisp, cool air will be good for you. Don't just be inside all the time. Make sure you're taking time to be in nature, even in the cold months. The thing that feels like it's going to happen for you doesn't feel like it's anything major or huge. It's not going to be life changing, I don't think. I think it's like something that's going to pan out for you that you might have even forgotten about. It's going to be off your radar. And then when it does happen, you're going to be reminded of it and be like, oh, okay, I remember that now. Completely forgot. But yours feels like it'll be a positive thing. And it does have a feeling of aloneness to it, but that being a good thing. Maybe you like solitude. Maybe you like your alone time. And so you're fine with that. Because before I brought up about, making sure that you're not having any codependency issues, you might not have that problem at all. But I just wanted to put it out there in case that is a thing. But if you don't feel comfortable with alone time, like say you're an extrovert, it could be saying to get comfortable with it. Use that time to work on your spiritual skills. Not just like distracting yourself with mind-numbing things like entertainment or whatever, but reading books or researching things or getting adept with using your cards, I suggest everybody get at least a deck of cards. If you've never learned tarot before, then get tarot cards that have the words on them, like the 5 cent tarot. I like those because they have keywords on them. Don't just get a deck like my tarot deck, which my tarot deck doesn't even have anything on it because I know them already. So the ones that are the major arcana do, I think. Maybe not in my deck. Really, I can't even find one major arcana. There we go. No, they don't on mine. So, but that's because I've been reading tarot cards for so long. But if you're new to it, people get really overwhelmed because they're like finding like they have to go to the book all the time, and then they don't know how to use the intuition with it. That comes with time. But then again, then you have cards like oracle cards that have words on them, and some of them have just a word, some of them have a sentence, some of them have a paragraph. I think when you're first beginning, the more words the better, because then you don't have to rely on the book. So with darkness, I think it's you're needing to illuminate things that right now you're in the dark about, but doing some research, and you might be in a stage of learning right now. Like you're like a sponge absorbing new information of a spiritual nature. All right, cool. That's what I got for you guys, pile 3. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you on the next reading. If you want specific reading for yourself, go on my website and contact me, and we'll go from there. All right, thanks.